wabarakatuh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Harwintha Yuhria Anjarningsih, and in this video, I would like to share with you a research project that I and my student, Fifi Puryanti, have conducted. The study is titled, A Preliminary Study, Word and Non-Word Repetition Tasks in Children with Speech Delay. This study examined the potential of using word and non-word repetition to screen children with speech delay in Indonesian. This kind of study is important because we need to have a clinical tool to make an accurate identification of language disorders, whilst additional research was still required for other languages besides European languages. It is also important because speech delay may impact negatively on social communication, emotional and behavioral regulation, and academic outcomes in the future. So far, there is no such tool in Indonesia. In a multilingual country such as Indonesia, if non-word repetition tasks could accurately distinguish children with language disorders, the identification efforts could be streamlined using Indonesian, although the children also speak other languages. The objectives of the research are the following: explaining the accuracy values of non-word and word repetition in Indonesian-speaking children, comparing the performance of word and non-word repetition in children who spoke Indonesian, evaluating the potential of word and non-word repetition in identifying children who experienced speech delay. The researchers examined the participants by adapting the repetition tasks of words by Dispaldro 2011 and non-word repetition by Dollegen and Campbell 1998 into an Indonesian version. Both instruments were arranged in the same pattern consisting of 16 words in each set, 4 words in each of the 4-syllable length, 1, 2, 3, and 4 syllables. Meanwhile, the syllables consisted of consonant-vowel and ended with consonants. Each set consisted of 96 phonemes. To ensure that the non-word repetition would not be influenced by the knowledge of the subject's vocabularies, non-words were created in such a way that there were no syllables corresponding to words in Indonesian. Both the word and non-word sets were coordinated with the length in phoneme, syllables, and syllable structures. To minimize articulation difficulties, items were set up to exclude the consonant r in order not to distract the process of pronouncing something, for children tended to inaccurately pronounce the following phonemes as they found difficult sounds. To confirm the accurate repetition of a word and non-word, there were not any consonants and vowels that appeared more than once. The following is a list of the words and non-words. The sets were counterbalanced across participants. The participants' answers were recorded on answer sheets. Each correct answer was given 1 point and wrong answer 0 point. Participants were 24 children with an age range of 5 years old, 0 months, to 7 years old, 10 months. All participants lived in Depok and used Indonesian as their mother tongue. Parents and teachers reported the absence of speech delay and hearing disorders in participants in the control groups. Participant A12, aged 7 years old, 1 month, was diagnosed as experiencing speech delay, and A1 to A11 children were parts of the control group whose chronological age was adjusted with that of participant A12. Participant B12 had a record of familial speech delay. To add, B1 to B11 children were the control group whose chronological age was adjusted with B12's. A12 and B12 children were chosen to observe the potentials of the use of repetition tasks in a child who had and had never been formally diagnosed as having speech delay. The demographic profile of the participants is provided in Table 2. The performance of participants was assessed using the phoneme percentage method produced in the correct way by Dollegen and Campbell 1998. The following are the criteria of the correct phoneme percentage according to Dollegen and Campbell. The audio recordings of 10 subjects were selected randomly and transcribed independently by skilled listeners. Results show that the assessment of items was categorized as consistent or reliable. The values were processed statistically using a software called Singlim's EXE. Word repetition was implemented to 24 participants. Table 3 shows the complete results. By seeing participants A12 and B12 who had speech delay, age did not affect the accuracy of word repetition. For A12, aged 2 years older than B12, did not get higher values. The results of non-word repetition are shown in Table 4, with accuracy values based on percentage of phonemes correct. Similar with the word repetition task, it appeared that the age difference of 2 years also had no effect on the performance of the participants with speech delay. Both exhibited similar accuracy values, and even the older A12 scored slightly lower. The following table summarizes the differences between control groups and participants with speech delay. For the word repetition, there were significant differences in all syllable lengths between control group B and participant B12. The differences were also observed in the age of 7, group A, excluding words with 2 syllables. For words with 2 syllables, the performance of participant A12 was within the normal range. The performance of non-words in the younger group, group B, did not indicate any differences in all syllable lengths. The differences showed up at the age of 7, group A, in 3 and 4 syllable long non-words. The word repetition task was seen to differentiate participants with speech delay starting from the age of 5. The differences were still identified at the age of 7, excluding words with 2 syllables. There was a possibility that it resulted from the great number of Indonesian words consisting of 2 syllables and chronological development in the processing of language in participant A12. In other words, the distinct performance at the age of 7 occurred on the infrequent syllable length, namely 1 syllable, 3 syllables, and 4 syllables. There was not a difference of non-word repetition shown at the age of 5. Nonetheless, at the age of 7, the performance of non-words with 3 and 4 syllable long displayed differences between participants A12 and other typically developing participants. Specifically, the result of non-word repetition exhibited that items with more than 2 syllables were likely to be used as indicators to distinguish children with speech delay from those whose language skills developed normally. By relating the results to the age of participants with speech delay, there did not seem to be any significant differences for 5-year-old participants. In general, this study added to the language repertoire besides European languages and increased the number of Asian languages, revealing similar results. The results showed that repetition tasks had a great potential to distinguish children with speech delay from typically developing children, both those who had been diagnosed as experiencing speech delay and those that had not been diagnosed but showed symptoms of speech delay. This was in accordance with previous studies. The involvement of the research participants from 2 different age groups showed the potential by showing the role of syllable length to both groups. If non-words with 1, 2, 3, and 4 syllables at the age of 5 failed to differentiate children with speech delay from those whose language skills developed normally, non-words of 3 and 4 syllables were able to differentiate them in the age group of 5. To sum up, in line with Dispaldro et al. 2013, who concluded that there was a greater word susceptibility in clinical samples compared to typical samples, this study revealed that word repetition of 1, 2, 3, and 4 syllables were capable of distinguishing children with speech delay and those whose language skills developed normally, as shown in both age groups. Furthermore, to maximize the potential of word repetition for Indonesian children, the question items should consist of 2 sets, namely words and non-words. Non-word repetition tasks could provide more items for 3 and 4 syllables. In addition, as a multilingual country, one potential advantage of non-word repetition was that the identification could be streamlined in bilingual populations and the tasks used Indonesian. The application of this potential could contribute to screen and identify children with speech delay. It was also expected to prevent difficulties in their lives from happening, both academically and socially. Notwithstanding, further research can identify correlations between phonological short-term memory by using word and non-word tasks developed in this study and incorporated more participants. Here are our references. Once again, thank you for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.